everyone, and welcome once again to TDL Live.
We're here.
The crowd goes wild.
We have audio.
It is August 11th, 2008. Ryan Ritchie, Adam Ford, welcoming you. This is our first show during the Olympics. So thank you for taking some time out from the luge. Wait,
where's our luge? Somebody has not been watching very closely or is aware of the time of year.
125 sports to pick from, and I picked the luge. I could have picked dressage or synchronized diving.
Synchronized diving.
Have you caught any Olympics?
I've caught a good amount of Olympics. I love the Olympics.
Better let them go.
Oh!
And did you watch the opening ceremony?
I did.
Quite a technological feast for the eyes.
Yeah, it was pretty spectacular.
Of course, there's some talk that a little bit of it was a little rigged, as it were. In particular, the footprint fireworks thingamabob was actually computer generated.
Yeah, I would have preferred you not tell me that because I like to live in a fairy tale land where little feet appear.
Up in the sky?
Fireworks.
Okay, fair enough. For those of you new to the show, you can chat to us live during the show, TDL Live via AOL Instant Messenger or iChat. The format, for those of you who know, it's a refresher.
It's very loose.
It's a refresher. The format is guided by this overly large bowl for too many pieces of paper. And we should get a fishbowl manufacturer to sponsor the show.
That would be wonderful.
Get a smaller bowl. Something more fitting of our news. Or perhaps we should just cover more stuff on a show. At any rate, let's begin. We do not know the order in which the stories will be pulled. And sometimes we don't even know the stories. So, with that, Adam Ford.
I'll dive in.
Dive in, put your mask on.
I'll dive
you have to spit in the goggles first? Did you
You're supposed to.
Why?
Because they don't fog that way.
I don't. It seems like a legend. That's like tapping the can. Do you tap the soda can before you
Only
open
if
it?
it's been shaken.
And what do you think that does exactly?
It makes me feel better about myself.
Okay, first story, let's do it.
Apple CEO Steve Jobs confirms iPhone application blacklist. Blacklist. Don't get blacklisted. So basically the story goes that they have the good old kill switch that they can throw as a safeguard in case any applications become malicious or steal your information and use it in some bad way or something like that. They can flip the switch and poof,
it's gone.
Gone.
So let's have some thoughts on this. Let's break this down.
Yep.
So, Steve says that it would be wrong.
It'd be irresponsible.
Irresponsible, thank you. If they did not have this functionality built in, that they're able to kill off programs if they're problematic. And I can see some value in that.
I can, yeah.
However,
Absolutely.
at the same time, there isn't, at least to our knowledge, there isn't a kill switch on my Mac from downloading a program that's maybe bad for my computer. There's not a kill switch on Windows.
Right, but you can get, there's multiple channels. So there's only one channel to get your apps, which is the App Store.
Okay.
So they,
So in essence, you're saying that if other people, like really a responsible Mac software provider site maybe, would have their own kill switch, that would be the equivalent to what Apple's doing with the App Store, more or less.
Yeah, I mean, if they were offering, other people's software and had the ability to yank it if something,
Okay. Let us know what you think. Is it good or bad that ability is there? TDL Live is the instant messenger. Or those of you who are watching the after we're live, because we don't change the name to TDL Recorded because that didn't test well. But you can watch the show as a podcast or on demand. Feel free. You can also participate. Send an email to feedback at the Digital Lifestyle.
That's it. You got it.
Feedback at thedigital-lifestyle.tv. We also have a phone number for you to call, but I shouldn't even mention it because I don't have it in front of me.
Didn't jot down.
But we'll share that with you next week. That's worth watching right there. But we'd like to know your thoughts on this kill switch situation. My only concern is, where's the line between using the kill switch and making an app inoperable, not in some moral sense, but take like the NetShare app to do tethering. The app is now gone from the store, so does that mean Apple could now justifiably yank it from the phones as well? And does someone owe me $9.99 because I downloaded an app that does nothing and can't use it?
I don't think they're going to use it. I think they would only use it in a worst case scenario where there's something really malicious about an application, where it's really going to be compromised. Now, the tethering sort of brings up a whole contract sort of issue.
Sure.
And maybe they are feeling some heat from AT&T on that, but chances are they're not. I mean, I don't know how many people downloaded the app.
Well, I don't know how many people downloaded it, and I don't know how many people are going to use it. I downloaded it.
Yeah.
It's more of a digital memoir, because I knew it wouldn't be there very long. But I don't have any intention to day in, day out tether my... I mean, I'm in Wi-Fi most of the time.
Right.
And I might try it to see if it works and say, hey, it works, and give people a tutorial on it. But I don't even know that it's that big of a deal that there are that many people who, at least with an Edge connection, want to tether their phone. Now, maybe people with a 3G phone, I don't have a 3G, would be more apt to want to do this.
Yeah, I think that, there's that fine line of when are you going to start pissing people off?
Whoa, easy, hit the button.
Like, beep. We have one of should have one
we
of
don't
those
have our kill
the
switch.
dump machines.
We need a kill switch here. We have a 7-second delay. But anyhow, yes.
So I think you have to be careful with doing that sort of thing. And I think Apple recognizes that, where you don't want all these people who are spending money on your store, and I think we'll probably get to that later, to get turned off because your app was turned off. So
Turn them on.
flip the switch.
Flip the switch, turn them on. That's what I say. You know what would make this better? I have an idea.
I don't know.
What if we got one of those booths that like the money flies around?
With the right.
Yeah, and we put the papers in there.
We could do that.
And we have somebody volunteer go in and pull these out.
We have to make it a 45-minute show.
Second build of 10.5.5 released. Easy. Don't hit software update. This is not to the consumers quite yet. Includes over 100 bug fixes. How many bugs do these things start with? Each update fixes about 100 bugs. Apple's released the second test build. That's 9F9 for those of you keeping track at home. And to select developers, that's just a week after the first update of 10. So it's 10.5.5.5b. Or 9F9 for those who are keeping track. Some of the fixes include improvements to the address book, printing IMAP support in Mail, and syncing with address book and iCal. I know you have some syncing discussions for a little bit, but keep an eye out. 10.5.5 should be coming to a Mac near you, and as you always like to say, it's probably recommended for
all users.
Probably
recommended for everybody. You know what I recommend?
Get on the kill switch again. Yes. What do you recommend, sir?
I recommend not creating a new group in your address book in the web app for MobileMe, and then putting contacts in it. Probably things you should be able to do. And then I recommend not syncing them properly to your iPhone. It's highly recommended for all users.
What happens?
Everybody's like, what did you just say? So basically, I created a new group in my web app, created a few new contacts in the MobileMe web app, put them into that newly created group, and the new group pushed to my phone. The new contacts pushed to my phone, but no contacts appear in that group on my phone.
I see.
So it's, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of weird.
You know what I recommend?
Waiting?
I recommend you visit the blog by going to thedigital.tv, click on blog.
You could do that. Don't be selfish.
I almost got my hand caught in the news jar.
All right, here we go.
It's a nice day for a
Woz wedding. Yeah. That was bad.
So it was SegFest this weekend in Indianapolis, Indiana. Segway capital of Indiana, and Steve Wozniak, Apple co-founder, was in attendance. We were not, unfortunately, although we hope to get more Segway action on the channel soon. But in addition to playing for the Woz Cup, Steve got hitched, tied the E knot. I'm sure there was. I'm sure there was some sort of. He probably could still send iCards to invite people there, right? But
it was an Evite.
Congratulations, Steve. We may have met your new missus. We're not sure.
Yeah, I think we did.
We think we did.
We think we did.
And we're like, were you drunk with Laz? What do you mean? You may have met, but anyhow, that's a story
for another time.
Yeah, the book. Okay.
That's you.
Oh my goodness. We need one of those accounting firms to come and confirm the
Yeah.
the results. Found footage. Well, that's just a bad headline. The whole I Am Rich app. So there's another thing in there about that. Maybe I should just combine, copy, paste, merge.
Yeah, merge them.
All right, so we had the I Am Rich app, $999.99 in the App Store. It was there for about a day.
Yeah.
And then it disappeared. Now, this application essentially put a gem on your phone
Gem.
when you turned it on, and it also had a little info button that apparently gave you success for riches, for making riches. And from the unofficial Apple weblog, apparently they had a little bit of a video walkthrough on this. Maybe we should start a video site, and then we could. But anyhow, so apparently 8 people bought this app.
Yeah.
And personally,
Rocket scientists all.
Well, personally, I thought it was brilliant.
It totally is brilliant. I mean, they got 8 people.
That's more than a lot of iPhone developers who spend a lot more time on their apps will get.
Yeah.
And my thing is, when you think of it as digital art, it could be a bargain. Now there's only 8 in the world. Anytime you have one of only 8 of something in the world, well, you're on to something.
Yep. I think it's something.
It is something. Also, I wanted to say about that something else.
Oh.
Well, the fact that there are plenty of apps that take the different flashlight apps, right? What do? They put something on your screen. Mm-hmm. So Apple pulls the $9.99 app, presumably because some people in the comments had said that they bought it as a joke. They're like, "Oh, this must be some sort of joke." The way this app is $999.99. You know, Apple,
Joke's on you.
Apple's always a prankster, and they're and they hit it, and then whoa, there's $1,000 gone from my account.
Yeah.
So at any rate,
I think it should still be up there. I don't understand why it was yanked. I mean, if somebody is, I dare I say, stupid enough to buy that, you deserve what you get. You bought $1,000. Nothing. You bought a $1,000 picture on your screen.
Or rich enough to buy something that to them has value because it's rare. Is it really that different than a diamond?
Yikes.
Think about that. You think about that.
I will do that.
So remember that it was $999.99. We'll come back to that a little bit later, I think, with a corresponding story. That is the maximum amount you can charge for an app.
I think it's
in the App Store.
I agree with you. Brilliant.
I believe now there is a free version that someone created, like a free parody of it. It's available for free. We'll do a review soon. All right, back in we go. Don't forget TDL Live if you'd like to chat.
Coming soon to an iPhone near you, Voice over IP. GIPS Voice Engine Mobile is a development toolkit for the iPhone software developers who want to add voice and streaming video to iPhone applications. Customers who now enjoy the voice features of Facebook and MySpace, may soon be able to communicate in the same way when accessing the sites from their iPhones.
So, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
You're. I hope you don't mind me saying this to the folks who may find you who are watching this. You're a Facebooker.
I've Facebooked before.
You have Facebook. Have you ever used any kind of voice feature with your Facebook?
This is actually the first time I've known about it.
Yeah,
I don't even know that exists.
Me neither. And with
I'm not like an avid user. I'm not on there every day, but
I wonder. Is it bad reporting, or are we completely missing? Because I've been in MySpace too, and I've never seen any kind of VoIP in MySpace. So
I haven't either.
But VoIP coming to an iPhone near you, kind of. It's one of those attention-grabbing headlines, and then it's like, you'll be able to talk to people on MySpace just like you do now.
Great. That's something I won't use.
Maybe we'll burn that one.
Perfect.
I'm going in. By the way, 9:15, for those of you thinking, is it almost? There's got to be more. We're halfway. 8 people bought the I Am Rich application. I'm going again. I don't know that was... It looks like that was some sort of... cutting error.
There's a copy and paste there.
Now this comes back. This worked out well. Thank you, News Fates. So according to Steve Jobs in an article with the Wall Street Journal, 60 million iPhone app downloads so far,
Boom! Blew it up.
netting the company roughly $30 million in revenue.
It's a nice little revenue stream there.
Bear in mind, we know that 8,000 of that was from the I Am Rich application.
Right.
So, and Jobs went so far as to say that this shows that software is now a selling point for mobile devices, and this is what the differentiation between mobile devices now is software. Mm-hmm. You know, I have some skeptical friends that I've been showing the iPhone to, and every once in a while what they'll say to me is, "Oh, wow, that's a Magic 8-Ball. Cool. I had one of those on my Palm in '96." Or, "Oh, yeah, I could play black and white blackjack on my Palm in '96."
Right.
And so you couldn't shake it, but
You could. It just wouldn't do anything.
wouldn't do anything.
It'd probably break.
Wouldn't do anything. And so I'm curious. You know, there was a platform that had third-party support and third-party development, but it didn't really help all that much in the grand scheme of things.
That's because of the device.
That's the question. Is it the device? Is it the distribution model with iTunes?
Yeah, I mean, it's made way more simple. You know, you have one place to go, one-stop shopping, which some people would argue I want to shop wherever I want. People should be able to sell this thing wherever they want. But I think it's a platform. I mean, you have to have a device that's able to do it well. I mean, nobody wants a monochrome Magic 8-Ball. You just don't want that.
You want full color 8-Ball.
Yeah, and you want to be able to shake
8-Ball.
the Magic 8-Ball and have it do its thing.
Well, the simplicity of the distribution model, too. I mean, I might not search out a Magic 8-Ball for the Palm, find the developer who has it, download it, extract the exe for our Windows friends,
Eee.
and then transmit it, transport it, transfer it.
Be careful, because that's the symbol for cloud.
In the cloud. Transfer it from the PC to the Palm. This is, you see the app, you click Buy Now, and it goes down, it's on your phone.
Right.
Sometimes directly from the phone. If you're using the App Store, you could go right from the phone. Okay, fair enough. I think we've
dig?
captured that.
You dig?
Captured it. Covered. There's
My
a lot
turn,
of
right?
words that sound alike.
My turn, isn't it? I'm going anyway.
Yeah, sure. I double dipped.
Another Mobile Me outage, question mark.
I'll take away that question mark, my friend, because
Confirmed. Let me do that.
in the time since that was printed, that has indeed been confirmed.
X that out.
We had some reports
Another Mobile
come
Me
in.
outage, sans question mark. Both MacNN and the Digital Lifestyle have received reports of another
Who's
Mobile
the
Me...
digital lifestyle?
That's us.
Okay.
That's us. Have received reports of another Mobile Me outage today. Although nothing was noted during the outage, Apple has now mentioned that there was an outage for roughly 2 hours today. You paid for it. You got it. Mobile Me.
Will this lead to another free month? Which, by the way, no one has seen yet.
I have not. Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
I had a viewer today email me and say, "Hey, I didn't get this
that.
extra month.
Yeah, what the hell?"
Maybe they're waiting to see just how many months they're going to have to give for free. Maybe this is all a clever ruse to make it a free service after all.
Come on.
Every month, there's some sort of technical debacle that makes it a free month.
Yeah.
It's just free forever.
Interesting to note that if you had like one of your activation codes laying around, you threw away the box because there's nothing in it.
Yeah.
And you just had that code and you stowed it away and you're going to enter it to, re-up basically. Be careful, because when you go into your settings now, you're not going to find a enter code.
Okay.
So when you go to renew, there's a checkbox, right? So you can say automatically renew, and then it confirms that all your credit card information is good, and then when it becomes time, it will automatically charge you. But there's no like redeem code. You have to go to mobileme.com/activate. I think that's the URL.
Me.com. Me.com/activate?
Maybe me.com/activate or mobileme.com/activate.
I don't have time to fact check.
We don't. It's one of those two. And then that gives you the option to enter your code, and then it basically sets you to automatically renew and deducts the $99 from your balance, so it zeroes out. But it's like, why wouldn't you just put it there?
I think I speak for the viewers when I say that'd make a good blog entry.
I will report back.
All right. Oh my goodness, we're at 20 minutes. I make it seem like it's geez, we still got 10 more minutes. That is the studio.
Sorry.
There's a studio cat in here. If anyone could help us out. A couple things that posted on the blog, speaking of which, this week that caused a little bit of a reaction, a stir of the pot, if you will. Of course, we mentioned the whole I am rich thing, and some people had reactions to that. And then the other thing was our talk of the situation with iPhone manufacturing and the fact that that's done in China, as many things are, and that previously Apple had some concerns. There was a report of issues with the factory and the work campus, I guess you would call it. Some say it was more camp and less us, but anyhow, the report found some overtime violations and some questionable things, but it wasn't like these people were being prodded with electrical prods. So at any rate, the blog entry was simply that my thought was, now that the iPhone is ramping up and supposedly 800,000 a week, which is beyond full capacity, and your thought is as good as ours as to how you manufacture more than you can manufacture. I thought, hey, you know what? Steve ought to go and check things out. Just make sure everything's good at the factory, and I'd go with him. We'd take a TDL crew, and Steve is not... well, my Mobile Me was down for 2 hours today. So we haven't
tried emailing him, but we don't know if it made it.
It came back. But, I mean, and a lot of people were up in arms about this. It's, it doesn't matter. It's how everything's manufactured. And
he could catch a game while he's there.
Apple doesn't have to have this social justice thing. And it's not even that, my point is, I think when you're the CEO of any company, it behooves you to occasionally see how your product is made. At the end of the day.
He's probably been there.
I strongly disagree.
Maybe not in recent time.
I strongly disagree. Yeah. I think he's been to China to negotiate phone deals as far as the mobile carriers, but I don't think he's been like, hey, why don't I stop by Foxconn and see how the phone guys are doing? Because I think he may have sent people, but I don't think he himself has stepped in.
Well, I don't think he's been there in recent history. I think at one point he probably was.
Probably when they were building it.
The factory?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, still.
Well, I'm just saying, take a trip. We already did it.
Okay.
A lot of duplicates this
Going
week.
again.
Pace yourself.
All right. Developers asking for more info about App Store vetting. So basically, it's the now it's here, now it's not sort of thing.
Box office.
Box office, yeah. So I guess probably somewhere in the legalese, Apple doesn't have to tell you when your app disappears. I'm willing to bet that's in there. I haven't read it. I can't confirm it. But I'm willing to bet it's in there. We decided it's not appropriate or not going to be in there later. So some developers are like, well, couldn't you just tell me? Couldn't you give me a heads up on that?
Let me know.
Yeah, just let me know that this isn't cool. Maybe if it wasn't cool, it shouldn't have been included ever. But just keep me in the loop. That's basically what it's about.
Do you think there was any sense on Apple's part of a need to pad the numbers to begin? I mean, we had 5 flashlight apps when the store launched. Do you think that maybe there was a blind eye towards that, just because to launch it was good to be able to say, hey, we have X hundred titles available?
I mean, to some extent, I'm sure that it is. I mean, you don't want to be like, we have 100 apps, or we have 25 apps.
Because there was a lot of duplication, but at the same time, if they were rejecting 4 of the flashlights, we would be standing here saying, "Oh, it's not fair that they pick their favorite light and no one else can make a flashlight."
I don't think it's a problem that they let it in. I mean, to some extent, there's probably a little bit of that going on, but. Yeah.
And then you get things like NetShare, and you wonder who was asleep. Look for a fresh resume in Cupertino for whoever let that go through. But at any rate, that intern's going back in August. In the end of the month, he's back in school anyhow. Does he care? Okay.
Slim pickings.
Some pickings. One other thing before I pick, I wanted to mention we had in the blog. I was digging around. It was probably Friday night, and what do I do on Friday nights?
You scour.
I read software license agreements.
SLAs.
And so I cozied up with my favorite iPhone software license agreement and found in the 16th paragraph of the Apple licensing
But who's counting?
section a little blurb about the licensing for the device and H.264 video. And the interesting thing about this portion of the licensing is that it says that it's licensed not only for playback, but also for H.264 video encoding. So, is this proof that the iPhone will soon be allowed to encode video, or is it merely that this is part of the overarching license from the H.264 group and it's just kind of in there?
Was there any pudding? Was there any? Did you find any pudding? From what I understand, that's where the truth is.
It's the proof is in the pudding. I don't know that the truth is in the pudding.
I hear the truth. No pudding though.
There wasn't any pudding.
Not in,
I could smell.
Not in paragraph 17, maybe.
I think
you didn't get that far.
I think I smelled some pudding. I was thinking, oh, there might be a baked good in here somewhere.
Yeah, it would be good for some pudding right now.
Well,
No.
yeah. I'll be putting this show out of its misery soon. This is a double or a longer. iPhones, Macintosh computers become Apple of hackers' eyes. It's another run for the hills. The hackers are coming. The hackers are coming. Yahoo with the Apple scare story of the week, indicating that the folks at the Zero Day Initiative, security analyst Cameron Hotchkiss, says that, quote, there are more eyes looking over Apple products for vulnerabilities, end quote. He mentioned this at DEF CON. We told you last week how Apple had pulled out of some DEF CON conventions where they would stand up there and say, this is how Apple security works, or, hey, ask us questions about how security works.
No.
Can't imagine why they
Not happening.
why they pulled out. But apparently one of the most well-attended sessions
Gets the point across.
Sessions at this year's DEF CON did indeed involve Apple security without Apple being there. So, what do you guys think? And what do you think? Do you think it's... I mean, obviously, at some point, when you start to have a critical mass of machines,
right,
it becomes more interesting to hackers. I would like to think that the computers, at least, I don't know as much about the phone, but the computers, at least, are safer than their Windows counterparts.
I would hope so.
Or we've been fed a line for many, many, many moons now.
Well, I think a lot of it does have to do with the install base. I mean, it's just sheer numbers, and it's probably going to be that way for a while. I mean, yeah, growing exponentially, but still relatively small install base, and it goes back to why would you go after that when you can go after a larger crowd. But it does raise some form of concern.
Okay, you're up.
That's where I'm at.
You're up.
Last one.
Big finish.
I was going to take another one, but
there's nothing left to take.
Oh.
Pudding.
Dedicated H.264 chips coming to Macs? That's a question mark, kids. Unconfirmed rumor that Apple will be incorporating QuickTime encoding, decoding chips into their products in the coming months.
This goes back to a Robert X. Kringley. He makes me cringe sometimes, so I'll call him Kringley. He basically thinks this big product transition that's coming up isn't some sort of reduced price MacBook Air. It isn't some new device. It's H.264 encoding and decoding chips for all. Huzzah!
Well, you've had some experience with some
hardware. If we had the time, we would do this. We'd do a little flashback, and we go back to the show where I had reviewed the Elgato H.264 Turbo 264, and I said whatever is in this thing that makes this encode so quickly needs to be in the Mac.
You said it.
So, of course, Phil Schiller's at home on the couch, and he hears me say that. He's like, oh, my goodness, he's right. And he gets on the phone, and the next thing you know, this chip supposedly coming. It would be a big deal because on the phone, it'd be a big deal to be able to encode and have that be off the processor. But it gives you some interesting options with Apple TV that would tie into some patents recently regarding what we've talked about here before, the ability for live events on an Apple TV box, sans or without your cable box.
Yeah. Yeah. Cheers from the crowd.
Cheers from the crowd.
Cheers from the crowd. Everybody goes wild.
So think about that until next week, and feel free to chat about it in the forums. Check out the show notes and the links for any of these stories. If you enjoyed the show, please consider hitting the old donate button there on the homepage.
It's like right.
Don't do that. They might be watching somewhere else. Don't do it. And they'll donate to something else, and then you're going to feel silly. But head to thedigitallifestyle.tv if you'd like to do that, and we'll be back next Monday night. Unless synchronized swimming's on, in which case
We'll be here.
You're a big fan. We'll have it on over there. We'll watch it out of the corner of our eye. That's going to do it. Don't forget you can subscribe via the iTunes link on our page for TDL Live. See you next week, everybody. Bye-bye.